month, and Susan probably shared a little bit of this morning, on average, it's anywhere from $25 to $35 million a month gets paid out through our compensation. That's impressive. In every major category that we looked at last year, we were up substantially, 20, 25, 30%, every major category. Net points up 25%. You know what I love about net points? And those of you that are new, you'll find out what that is. But that's the quality of our business going out into the public every month and knowing that those products are placed with the intent to be long-term and really be there long-term. You got to remember, what we're doing today is we are sitting down, helping people understand how these financial tools can change their life and make certainty when family and structures will need it, whether that's a business. And we're making promises that are going to have to be met 25, 30, 40, 50 years from now. So what you do is pretty important. I mean, think about what just in claims alone. Look how much money that you're putting in the economy every year to help people in North America have a better tomorrow. And you know, when I looked at my history in the business, you know what? I can stand up proud and say that I'm so proud of being in this industry for 29 years. You know, 5 years ago, I don't know if I would have said that. 5 years ago, I might have been questioning, are we really doing what we're supposed to be doing to help families? And really thinking back, when I started in the insurance industry and financial service industry in 1984, it was different back then. And when I spent those years in business, it started to look different. Products became more important than people. Commissions became more important than premium. People, I believe, in that industry just had their priorities upside down. And I would tell you, even today when we looked at that industry, I'm still concerned about, are they really ever going to get it? But what I like about what WFG stands for is how you don't focus really on product. If I took every one of these leaders and I asked them exactly how much money did you make last year, let me bet you $1, every one of you in this room. I don't think they can tell me that. In fact, I don't think they can tell me it's within $10,000. You know why? It'd be a pretty good guess. Now, I know their spouses might know. And they should know, and they do, but the reality is they don't think about it. They don't get up every morning wanting to know how much money they're going to make. But they do get up in the morning knowing that they bought a dream, their families bought a dream, that they were going to go out every day and help families, and they were going to become extremely wealthy by doing that. And that's why they all became very successful. And you see it in every situation that we look at in our organization. So as I sit here and I give you some of these numbers, I'm very proud of the fact that what we accomplished and where we're going as an organization. I think our compensation is the best in the industry. So let me tell you something. As you focus on your business, you need to know how to explain it. One of the things I'm going to ask you to do going forward is we're going to continue to work and rework and make sure that things that need to be fixed, we're just going to fix them. Things that need to be tweaked, we're going to tweak them. If we've made mistakes, we're going to correct them. And let me tell you something. When you look at this business, and I say something like this business is the best in the industry, this business, in my opinion, is the best in North America. But you know what? Become a student of the business. Understand how that compensation really works when it's time to understand it. Because the one thing that I believe we have to do is we got to be able to tell our story and get people excited about being in this big business. And it is a very big business. And take it serious and treat it like that. But never lose sight of what you do. There's two things we do. Those 97,000 people that were recruited, they were recruited for two reasons. They were recruited because we wanted to educate them with the financial service concept and a process. And if it was needed, they had an opportunity to buy insurance and investment services from a very knowledgeable associate. And the other reason they came to the organization is they had an interest in developing a business for themselves. And my only goal and my only wish is we've got to double that. There's no reason we shouldn't be telling this big business story, one of the greatest, I think, of all times, more than we're telling it. And what I love about what this team is doing, you're leading by example. You're busting the seams in these meetings. I guarantee you next year, you think you're going to have more people here next year than you had today? Absolutely. Let me ask this question. Because again, money's very important. You work hard to make a living. How many people made more money this year than the year before? Raise your hand. So there's a theme here. Look, it's not an accident that you're sitting here. There's not a reason that you would be sitting here today on a Saturday afternoon unless there was one reason. Either you've been in the organization and you know how exciting it is and you're taking your business to a whole new level. And if you're sitting here trying to make a decision, I'm telling you, you're halfway there. Because you had enough in your heart to make a choice to be here today and to make a change for your life, for yourself, your family, and your life. So you know what? That's what WFG does. And that's the reason why we're shaping the industry. And really, that's why we look so different. You know, I say this all the time. People say, what's going on with WFG? I said, well, they're different for one. And the one thing we can never do is let's always be different. Because I believe that's what sets us apart. Right? That's what sets us apart. It's the little weird things we do that really make us the dynamic organization we are. Whether that's doing the whoosh or listening to the music or whatever we do. But that's what makes us unique. And you know what? That's what keeps the passion burning and the desire to win. I'm convinced of that. What else really makes us different? Part-time. Where can you have been into a financial service business on a part-time basis and it's really encouraged up front? Nowhere else. And then have a leadership group like you do, and they will tell you and direct you when it's time to go full-time. And those people that end up going full-time, I really believe if you listen to this leadership group and you follow the path, you will be successful. Now, there's levels of success. You get to pick that. So, when you look at this organization, if you're sitting around, let me say something. I think the platform is good as it is because of people. It's not because of technology. It's not because of me. It's not because of Minnick. It's not because of Susan. It's not because of Transamerica. It's not because of Aegon. It's because of you. I mean, the biggest brand we have are people and the leadership we have. But I hope what we do is give you the support, and I hope what we give you is a little bit of confidence that whether you've been in this business for a week or 6 months or 30 years, you got an air about yourself, you got a confidence about yourself that you can stand up and really be proud of what WFG does and know that the reason that Transamerica is so active in our organization today with that brand is they believe in you. You know, when I go to these meetings, what do you think the first question they ask? It's not about how much premium we did. It's not about what our revenue is. Clancy, Ham, Marty Fruellen, the first question they always ask, how's recruiting? How's recruiting? And you know what? Recruiting's going very, very well. And the reason I think it's going well is because you've got a good attitude. You believe in this organization. You've seen the results. And the reality is, we got to keep it. That's our job. We got to keep this momentum going. And again, when I talk about the business, some of the things we've really been able to showcase I hope you've seen this. I'm going to skip ahead because I'm kind of moving fast. Look, we went viral at Forbes and said, look, these are individuals that really have paid a price, and now they're in a position today to be in a national magazine. And yes, we did quote their income range. Because magazines like that equate success to income. But that's okay. Because you know what? One of the byproducts of being successful at WFG, people make a lot of money. And although I don't want you to ever get careless with that, I want you to be responsible with that. The reality is, be proud of that. Because this is an organization. This is a place that you could come to where, you know what? Your dreams can come true. Financially, you could change your life. And that's one of those things we talk about, right? Because in the 24 years that I was in the field on the independent side, did you ever think we talked about dreams? It was kind of refreshing. The other day I was on a flight. Imagine that. I was on a flight. I live on an airplane. I don't live on an airplane. But I watched the Steve Jobs movie. Now, I've read most of the book. I had to put it down. I'm not wanting you to focus on, I had some issues with his lifestyle. But that's me, personally. I shouldn't judge that. But one thing that I did notice in that movie is at a time when Apple really soared and excelled, they were talking about dreams, hopes, vision. And I loved when they were in that little garage and they were designing all that stuff, and then they started to take that business forward. And then unfortunately, some things got in the way, right? What I'm really pleased about is our history is so important, and we should never jeopardize that. Because we don't want to turn into what Apple turned into at certain times. And I'm not speaking publicly about Apple, but if you watch or read that book, there were a period of time where they went through some challenges, just like any other business does. But some of those challenges were personal challenges, and they were personal decisions. And what I would leave you with is this. Look, these individuals up here have committed a lifetime of making sure that WFG, not Transamerica, World Financial Group's brand, is something that you should and better be proud of. But we want to make sure that when it's all said and done, people will look back years from now and say, wow, WFG, that's that company that either I got involved with, or somebody in my family got involved with, or my neighbor got involved with, and I watched them change their life. And you know what? Financially today, I'm better off because of my association with WFG, even if they never became licensed. Because maybe all they had a chance to do is start a retirement program, start a life insurance program. So when you think of that, that's really what this is about. And when you think about this big business, and the slide that I had up there is, I'm going to talk about the broker-dealer, is even our business ownership program. You understand when you're sitting in here today, you're building a business for yourself? I hope you understand that. And think about what it's cost you to build that business or get into that business. Whether you've been in it for a week, or you're thinking about getting into it, or you've been here for 30 years, think about what it costs you to get in business. And eventually, you have an opportunity to run a multi-million-dollar business. These leaders up here average, they probably pay out $20 to $30 million a year in compensation to their teams, to their businesses. It's incredible. So that is a big business. And we have a program that outlines it. And we have